There are many versions of the song The Water is Wide. My personal favorite would be the one with Sarah McLachlan, Jewel, and Indigo Girls. It is absolutely gorgeous. However, playing it on the guitar, and especially if you're playing it by yourself, I would say Eva Cassidy's version is really, really nice to play. It does require quite a bit of both hands, even though it might look easy. I wouldn't say it is. So this lesson, I of course teach you all the fingerings and all the chords, and I'll talk about the what to do with the finger picking there elaborately as well, of course. But a lot is also determined by your own ability of how you can finger pick your way in general already, because if you're a beginner for that matter, this is definitely going to be too hard, because like I said, there is a lot going on and that you would need also to decide for yourself how you actually want to play it. I'm sure Eva wouldn't play it the same way every time. Maybe little things you do want to have those in there, you know, little melody stuff, especially there's an instrumental part in there you might want to stay close to how she played it, at least in the original recording. And other than that, there are many ways to vary it and all that. So we break down we break down everything I talked about, but I in particularly want to point out just how to transition smoothly from one chord to the other. I think that's the most crucial thing here. So that's one thing, and the other is to shift positions with this hand there too. So you could be either in home position, or you could be in shifted position, or you need to go back and forth between the two, and to do that like comfortably. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the chords. The song is in, or at least her arrangement is in the key of D. And as for the chords, what appears in there? Well, the D major, chord 1, E minor or E minor 7, chord 2. Then there is no chord 3, which would be in F sharp minor, but it's not in there, thankfully, because then you need a bar. But there is, yes, a G, in particular a G add 9, so you have the A here on the 3rd string there. Like so. Oh, sorry, that was a G6. A G add 9, yes. Then there is an A major, or an A7 sus4, or A7, like so. There is a B minor, followed usually by a B minor with an A in the bass. Then there is a D with an F sharp in the bass, so you have sometimes like inversions of those chords, or like here an E minor with also a D in the bass, a D major up here with the sus4, a D sus2 up here, a G, a G with a D in the bass up here, or, well, okay, but that is mostly it. Yes, all the little details. As for fingerings, I point out, of course, in the lesson. Don't skip those segments. As for the finger picking, I already mentioned it. You know, you need to be able to go back and forth between home and shifted position all the way through. It is mostly an arrangement with 8 notes all the way through indeed. There are occasional, hardly, if ever, a 16th note in there, or a quarter note. Is mostly 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. That said, I actually played a chord which I didn't point out just yet. It is a D7 with an F sharp in the bass, like so. And as I pointed out, smooth transitions. So there are 2 ways to do this, maybe 3, let me point out 2. If you're going to a chord with an open bass note, which could be either with E or A or D, then you hang on to the previous chord until you hit the bass note of the chord you're going to, which is something with E or A or D, then you let go. Or if you're going to a chord with a fretted bass note, like for example D, then you need to let go at the end of a beat, or the previous 8th note of the previous chord, like that. So for example, when coming from B minor with an A in the bass, 1, so 3 and 4 and like that. And then on 1, you jump on G in this case, which is how the progression goes. So those are a couple of little things that I point out like all the time, as in let go now, hold on now, all that. So yes, like I said, this playing through this is really determined by that. Smooth fingerpicking, smooth transitions, trying to get all the, well, the little things in there. There, like I said, there's an instrumental part in there which is not necessarily easy. Let me see. There's a B sus in there. See, there's a lot going in there. Can't read it anymore. Hammer-ons, slides. Well, something like this. And then there's another verse and so on. Okay, enough said. I think you're in for a real treat if you're able to play through this. Really nice. You can of course keep it simple. Just try to fingerpick your way through the progression. Just play those chords. They are, except maybe for B minor, they are all relatively doable. So, I hope you will enjoy. I say if you need all those details, you probably need it. Because it's all about efficiency there too. Efficient fingerings and so on if you want to have smooth transitions, and so I'm repeating myself. Yes, check it out at totallyguitars.com.